I'm Andy. That's Jim. We're going to go over how June went for us. So, what we like to do is we like to recap and go over just how the record went and where the units were won and where the units were lost, and just kind of do a really nice little deep dive of what worked and what didn't work. So, we're just going to start talking about June here. Shout out to everybody in the Discord channel. If you guys want to join Discord, which you should, good conversation. There's free plays, and we go over Road to Millions, bankroll management. We cover our units a lot more in Discord. It's free. The link is in the description. So join the Discord channel if you really want to get started on this. And if you're not in there and you've been following other plays, go in there. We've got a lot of really good information in there. So really important if you're going to follow along with all these plays and all the bankroll management to jump in that Discord. So, all right. Let's do June record here, Jim. 43-24 is a really good record percentage-wise. Units plus 11.24. We started off the month slow, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of June, we really picked up steam. So, just real quick, what are your June? How did June go? What are some of your thoughts and what jumps out first and foremost?
I mean, it was, you could call it an up and down month. Luckily, it ended up instead of down. So I think that is where your bankroll management comes in. I think 11.24 units, I'll take that any day of the week, month to month. I will take it. A profit is a profit, no matter how you slice it. However, we dug ourselves a little bit of a hole the beginning of the month and really had a good end, solid end. So going into July, I mean, I'm ready to rock for July. That's for sure. Anytime we come out of a month hot, I'm always excited for the next month.
Yeah, July is already off to a blistering. We're already up more units in July than we are in June. So, but we want to go over June and just recap that. So let's go through WNBA. We're 2-0. We only had two plays. We hit both of those plus 6 units. I don't know, Jim. They're both Caitlin Clark. I took Caitlin Clark unders. We hit those. I've not had any more WNBA plays. I'm looking a little bit more at them, but I got to be honest. Wimbledon in July has already been a big success. We just got some other sports that are looking really good. I feel confident in my reads in WNBA, but it's just kind of at the bottom of the list. I don't really want to force anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're really missing out on a ton of props. So if I find a great spot, I may. I've got my eye on a couple players, but I don't know if I do any more WNBA plays. It may look like this at July, where there's one or two plays. So,
Which I think is a great way to just add a couple units on. It doesn't have to be a top 3 sport that we focus on. If we can add 6 units a month in WNBA, I'll take that for the rest of the year.
2
On
units,
2 plays,
great.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
2. Yeah, absolutely. So, darts went 4-2. We grabbed 1.34 units there. I know we've got a darts tournament coming up next week. I sorely missed the Thursday Premier League dart. Those things.
Yeah, if we could get that year round, we'd be very happy.
The good news, if those of you that have not followed our darts plays, first off, shame on you. But second, so Thursday, I mean, for what was it, like a 4-month league? Every Thursday was the Premier League, and it was the same guys, and it was just so bettable. And the good news for us is it was a smash hit for them, like huge ratings and turnout and everything. So they're going to do it again, and we're actually seeing more leagues and tournaments pop up. So this is awesome. Corbin's done a good job with darts. So next week, hopefully, we'll have some plays there. So any takeaways from darts?
It's another way to add units, man. I'm seeing a lot of dart traction all of a sudden. The dog days of summer have started to get people looking elsewhere, and I feel like we're a bit ahead of Corbin specifically is ahead of the curve with a lot of these other guys doing darts all of a sudden. So he's got a proven track record in dart. He knows these players. Andy's becoming a darts aficionado as well.
I'm getting there. I really am.
You are.
I watched a lot of that Premier League, and you get to know the guys pretty quick. You get to know their tendencies, who falls apart in the tough situations, who thrives. You know, that stuff is really important. So, darts. It's gonna continue to be a bigger and bigger part of the portfolio, especially now that the other thing was when we first started doing darts, you really couldn't bet them
True.
many places. Now they're becoming a lot more, prevalent. So across the sports book, so the arrow is up for darts, absolutely. So golf. This was the low light. One day really, really, really sunk us. 1-4. I believe those four losses were all on one day. It was just one bad day. I thought I had a really good read on a course setup, and I didn't. And this was the big black eye on on the month of June. The good news is, and we'll get to cross sport parlays. I don't think we lost any parlay pieces from golf in the cross sport parlay in June. So those were really good. But yeah, golf stumbled, but still the months leading up to it's been good. So yeah, what are you gonna do? I take full responsibility on golf. Any takeaways on golf?
I have full faith in this not being the norm. And it's not. It's not. It's not the norm. One bad day in this industry can really hurt you. And that's something that we're trying to get across to everybody with what we're doing is that you don't need to go all in on a day, especially if you're cold in the sport. There's no getting back the money. So, yes, okay, we had a bad day in golf, but what I'm more proud of there is that we didn't end up with 8 to 10 plays in golf trying to make up for those units. So sometimes you just got to take a loss on the chin and move on, and you'll come back better for it. You always do in golf. So, in Andy, we trust when it comes to our golf plays.
NHL, man, 2-0, closed out the dream season of NHL. I know.
I'm sad to see it go.
I know, so sad, but what a great way to close it out. 2-0 implies +4 units for the month of June. We ended the NHL season 80-46, so really, really excited about that. I have never looked. I'm almost trying to temper expectations and excitement for the upcoming NHL season. I'd like to think we could get close to replicating some of those results, but I know it's. I mean, I know you and I have talked endlessly about how awesome NHL was, but it was just a really great, fun season.
And it was enjoyable. And really, that's the thing is we want to make money, but we also want to have a little bit of fun and enjoy it. We don't want to be painstakingly spending hours researching these plays. It's more set it and forget it with a lot of these guys. And they were great matchups and great spots. And I am 100% looking forward to next season. And I'm not tempering expectations. I think we can most certainly do it again.
Lacrosse 4-3, grab 1.3 units there. Lacrosse is doing just fine. Dan's doing a great job. We're up pretty big for the season, so we keep chugging away in lacrosse. And I'll let you go with MMA. 6-5 for -3.26 units here. I thought you said it best. This could have been a complete disaster.
Yeah, we could have been. We could have been in the negative for the month if we continued with MMA the way it was. So proud of how we closed out. It was really a bad night in PFL that did us in more so than anything. I mean that one would that cost us 7%. That
Yeah,
one
it
night
was
because of the altitude and
It's
just
the
all of a
freaking
sudden guys.
altitude.
Yeah, it was altitude and nobody wanted to guess to make the playoffs because they were all just playing for decisions. And you could see the writing on the wall. Now, that being said, with that night, we laid off a lot of live spots, moved on, and we responded perfect the next week. We cashed the following PFL week. We're going to cash in the playoffs. I'm not afraid of PFL. I was a little shook. But then after a little pep talk between the two of us, it's like, look, wait a minute. No, this is 3 years worth of this strategy in PFL that we've had. So we're going to continue to fire away there. And MMA this month really isn't lighting the world on fire UFC-wise, so I think we're going to probably maybe be a little bit lighter in MMA and find some really good spots and stick with that. So confident we'll see a plus number next to the MMA record in July.
Yeah, and UFC was good. We did fine in UFC. The reads in UFC were really good. So, again, I use this phrase all the time. The best way to make money is to not lose it. And I think we avoided a potential, a potential month where that could have been -15, -18 units. But we played it close and closed out good. Formula One, 4-0, +6.5 units. No complaints there. We also added quite a few units in the cross-sport parlays, which we'll get to in a second. But those were qualifying. I think we had one play that
Yes.
was race, but those were qualifying. We're finding some real value in the qualifying. So Formula One, I was very very happy to get a good month of June with those. So yeah, Formula One's been real good.
Always is. Always. Formula One's. If you're a NASCAR bettor out there and you don't look at Formula One, please look at Formula One. It is such a stressless, apart from last week, a little
Yeah,
crazy, but it's very predictable. And these teams, they don't want to wreck their cars. They don't want to fight in the garage. It's very calm, cool, collected, and we're seeing it fantastic. Really looking forward to the rest of this Formula One season.
and yeah, I mean, when you follow the sport, you could just see what teams are progressing and which teams are not. And if you follow the sport, you know the Aston Martins are a fantastic fade right now. I'm not sure the books have completely caught up with them, but those are great spots to to get some units in qualifying. Cross sport parlays continue to be just the 2024 bright spot for us. We had 11 of them. We won 8 of them. This was the big winner, 11.3 units, and I'm not worried about putting these at higher percentages than some of the other ones. I'm not sure if we're just on a heater, or if the books are missing out something, or if it's the certain sports that we play. Ralph actually called me. Ralph Michaels called me today and said something about like do you tell people beforehand what sports these cross sport parlays are going to be? I'm like, we don't even know
No, we don't.
sometimes. Like, we'll start with a piece and then just try and find something, but it could be PFL with CFL or Formula One or golf or UFC, you name it. But this has been the big one for us, and I'm seeing a few more of them pop up. But this is kind of our bread and butter. This is what we've this is what we've done the most damage for this year.
Then we're going to continue. I mean, I'd like to know if anybody else out there had a men's hot dog eater over the women's cross sport parlay with a tennis match. Explain that one.
Yeah,
Try to sell that one, you know. But it's the oddball. It's not MLB. We're not gonna. You're
yeah.
not gonna see the Yankees parlayed with F1. It's off-brand sports. It's not where everybody's looking. And again, what's the name of the channel? Winning in the Shadows. These shadow sports. That's where you get these great lines. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the books just. We're starting to see a little bit of movement on the value of some of our favorite pieces. So I think they're catching on a little bit. But yeah, going hard and heavy on these things. It's just they've been so good, and they're going to continue to be.
Yeah, they've been at a whole new level. I mean, these things have been really good for us last couple of years, but this year in particular, really really doing well. So, soccer, Corbin went 5-3. We lost a couple juicy ones, so minus 3.3 units there. I was happy that he took a couple losses and then he came back strong and got some wins on there, but it was really laid off Copa and the Euros. Just not really a whole lot of value. I think he's avoided a lot of losses.
A lot of people got murdered. In
Yeah,
soccer.
yeah, that's kind of what we've been realizing there. So, and then to close it out, tennis went 7-4 in the month of June, minus 2.7 units. I'm not worried about that because Corbin just crushed the week of Wimbledon, so more than made up for that.
Yeah.
So
Tennis is going to look really good on next month's sheet.
tennis is going to be great. If we don't have any more plays even for the rest of the July, it's going to look really really good. So my biggest takeaway here, Jim, is golf and MMA. It really came down to just a couple days and a couple nights, and I got humbled with the with the golf situation. But with MMA, I'm not too worried about going a little bit more volume on PFL. I think we got caught up with the altitude, something that really it never occurred to me. It absolutely never occurred to me that the altitude would wreck that night. So I think we stick with it and keep chugging along. And like you said, man, 11.24 units every month. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sign me up for that.
If you look at our numbers here, like you said, MMA going 6-5, and if they're even decent, we're up around 18 units for that month. So cross-board parlay saved us. That's for sure. We're not going to be 6-5 and 1-4 in golf every month.
Yeah.
That is not. These are outliers, and I'm confident in saying that that at the end of the year, out of 12 months, we will see a plus number next to those sports for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, so that is our June recap, though. Again, go to our Discord channel. It's free. You can jump in there. We've had some really good conversation. There's some good live bets. Corbin was at Wimbledon, giving us some live plays and some good looks from there. But that's really going to be the hub for where we talk about the bankroll management, where we go over kind of, hey, what's our plan for this week and what's our plan for this day? Just kind of a overall bigger betting perspective. Give a perfect example. There's a WNBA play that I kind of like tonight, and there's no reason to fire on it. We're up big this week. I look at our record. I think we're 11-4, and I say that is just a perfect. That is a great week. There's no reason to play anything that. Hey, listen, I'm pretty confident in it, but I look at the bankroll and I just go, we're way ahead of expectations. So we'll kind of lay off of that. So those are the kind of conversations and things that are so important to have. I feel like we don't do a lot of that in the industry. So go over to the Discord channel and join in with us here. So you had a chill 4th of July, right?
Oh, we had a very low-key 4th of July. Very low-key.
Yeah.
Fireworks, nothing special.
Freaking rained here all day.
Yeah,
all day.
I heard.
All day. And then I grilled chicken, and the chicken didn't even taste that good. It was like, this is a perfect meal for a rainy 4th of July. Everything was just meh. It was just.
I got to watch my hot dog eating competition. That's all I want to do every year. Is just plop myself down and watch the Nathan's competition and shoot off a couple fireworks, have a little fun, but low key.
I got to give you credit. You called they were talking about the weather. Talk about what they were saying about the weather with the hot dog eating. I didn't know this concept.
It's something that I've bet on the Nathan's hot dog for a couple of years now, and you could bet Joey Chestnut's total and all this stuff, but there are variables, and they break this stuff down with competitive eating. The elements affect it massively. I mean, just think, if you're at a barbecue and it's 92 degrees with 74% humidity, you're not eating as much as you are if it's a nice, chilly, breezy day. So as soon as I saw the weather turning better, I kind of knew, and we saw the women's champion come out and set a world record. I had a feeling that a good amount of those guys were going to get over 50, and they did. So pretty obvious call there as far as weather goes. And with things like that, too, the public is always going to be on the overs, so you let that be bet down, all the worry and all the concern, and then you strike when it's right and hit the overs there. So nice little cash on 4th of July.
Nice. I would also just, if we're just kind of throwing in some random topics, this is the worst season of The Ultimate Fighter, and to be honest, it's not even close.
Nope.
This is, it's painful to watch The Ultimate Fighter. You have two coaches that speak in somewhat broken English. All the fighters are in somewhat broken English because they leaned all into the international fight week, and it is rough. This is. Have you been able to keep up with
Well,
it?
here's the thing. I have to watch the fights. It's not a want to. I have to watch these fighters. So I've been recording them and fast forwarding to the fights because I really don't want to hear what any of them have to say. I just want to see the fights and go from there. And even the fights, there's a lot. These guys all have massive holes in their game. I don't think there's a lot of guys off of this season that we're going to be hearing from for years to come. So I think there's some good fade spots if these guys get in.
The last fight that they had was amazing.
It was a banger.
It was very entertaining. It was full of violence. It was a lot of fun to watch. So I think one of the bigger takeaways from this season is you're just seeing these guys that are coming up, and they're just a lot more polished on camera. They're a lot more professional. I mean, The Ultimate Fighter, they used to put these roided out alcoholics in the same house, and it was just chaos. These guys come in, and this is their career. This is there's nothing too crazy about it. So all the interviews look the same. They're friendly, even before and after the fight, where they fight each other in the octagon, and then all of a sudden they're just. It's a terrible, terrible season to watch.
The Power Slap House is a much better watch.
It's
That's a much better
10
watch.
times better. 10 times better. So, and we will keep talking about Power Slap because more and more websites are having it, and we are finding more and more angles and ways to bet. Not even on some of these fighters, but bet against some of these fighters. So we're looking forward to that. This is what Winning in the Shadows is all about. It's cashing in on some of these spots and these sports and these events that the books just are not paying attention to, and we will come in and happily grab that over 49 and a half. I mean, what was the hot
49
dog
and a half.
guy over 49 and a half. He had like 55 or something.
Yeah, 55. The women's
was
total,
great.
she was at 40. She did 51. Absolutely
Amazing.
destroyed it. Never in doubt.
Yeah, so that's what the essence of Winning in the Shadows is. So, all right, that's going to do it for the June recap. If you guys could just hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. This is where all of our UFC, PFL breakdowns are going to be. We're going to start pumping out some NFL props as well. Get ready for the NFL season. All our content is going to be on this Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. So go ahead and hit the like button, leave us a comment. And we'll be back next week to go over. We really want to do weekly updates with the Bankroll, so we'll start going over more week to week things. And don't forget to join the Discord channel. So, thanks everyone for joining. Good luck, and we will see everyone next time.
Enjoy your weekend, guys.